Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ball Not Court podcast host Cortez Paul.
Along with my co-host Paul Mack.
I want to thank you folks for tuning in today and listening to the show. Basically, we cover basketball, football, NCAA, or anything that's related to current events with a humorous twist to it, at least. You can follow the podcast at BIOC Podcast at X or Twitter. We're also on Instagram at the same name, BIOC Podcast. You go to our YouTube channel, that's also BIOC Podcast. Our Facebook page is Balls Not Court Podcast. So if you could please just give us a like, shout, comment on any of those, and definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Balls Not Court Podcast. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Balls Not Court Podcast. Cortez Paul is here. Mr. Paul Mack is here. And Mr. Kevin Carter. The one and only Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, it's been a minute. How you doing, sir?
It has been a minute since Sunday. But, since I've been on here. Yeah, it has been a minute. I am doing well. Very, very well.
Good. Mr. Mack, how was Animal Kingdom on Sunday? You didn't go to the
good, man. That was my first time there since all the new stuff. So, Avatar's fine. Like, it's weird during the day, but it's fine.
At night it looks cool.
Yeah, but it gets dark at it gets dark at 8:30, and the park closes at 6.
Yep, they're like you don't get to see the cool shit.
That's why I miss daylight savings time. We need to go to Animal Kingdom because it lights up at night and it's quite a view. So
that's what I hear.
Yeah, but the ride sucks ass though. Good God.
Yeah, I like it, but it's I guess compared to what else they had there. But
I'm not an Avatar fan. Yeah, I'm not an Avatar fan, so fuck them. Oh.
So For the first time I watched like the Avatar movie when I was flying to Toronto. That's like the first time I watched it. It's been a long time. Yeah. It's like better late than never. It's way, way late. I still got to watch the second one. It's on HBO Max.
Hey,
Make sure I watch
it. You'll be all right.
It's on Disney Plus.
So y'all say I'm not missing much. Okay. Cool beans.
No, you're not. Look, it is Space Pocahontas. That's all that movie fucking is. It's Space Pocahontas. Just view the other one people as the people from the UK and the blue people are Indians.
And the whites.
Yes.
Yeah,
They're the whites. The blue people are the Native Americans. There you go. Same thing. Pocahontas had a tree. These guys have a tree. All the same shit. It sucks. Boo.
I just got cliff notes on the movie. Okay. I will
exactly. And the second one is about blue water people. And there you go.
I'm impressed, man. This only took like 2 minutes to get off the rails. This is
quite impressive, right?
Yeah.
Off the Avatar rails.
This is a sports podcast, but hey.
Absolutely.
See?
And it's work schedule's been crazy, so this is going to be impromptu, so who knows where it's going to go. But
listen, the way the playoffs have been going, we would have to do this every other day, and it's just not going to happen. So they're gonna get it when they can get it, man.
Absolutely.
You know what this is? You know what this is? This is ludicrous.
Oh, the ludicrous jokes flies. All right, 2024 NBA playoffs. Couple series of wraps up in the West. We have the Timberwolves that end up defeating the Suns in a sweep. The Nuggets defeat the Lakers in a sweep.
Gentleman sweep. Gentlemen sweep.
Yeah, Lakers got
Lakers-
one. Lakers got one.
Lakers got one game.
Lakers got one. My fault. The gentleman sweep. So, before we get into the two losers, let's get into the two winners here. What's y'all immediate thoughts about the Timberwolves and Nuggets series? This is a series that they played in the first round last year, and they won 6 games. Anthony Edwards had a coming out party in the postseason, really put him on a bigger landscape for this season that came up. So, what's y'all immediate thoughts about the Timberwolves and Nuggets series coming up? It should be Saturday. The time is to be determined.
This is going to be the best series that you're going to have in the entire playoffs, even the finals, even everything else. This is going to be the best series that the NBA has had in a while. I just think it's going to be just really good basketball games. And I can't wait to watch them, even though they'll probably all be at 10 o'clock at night.
Which sucks because my schedule changed, so I'm gonna be missing them too, unless they're on the weekends. Paul, what's your immediate thoughts about this T-Wolves and Nuggets series?
I mean, T-Wolves are good. They're real good. Anthony Edwards, Showtime, as advertised. I mean, him dunking on Kevin Durant in that final game was that's just the epitome of both of those team seasons. That's the epitome of the T-Wolf season, and that's about where the Suns are at, just getting dunked on. So it's cool to see just like the changing of the guard, right? Like, I know the big headline is like, this is the first time in a long time that we're not going to have any LeBron, any Steph Curry. KD's gone now. So you're really seeing the changing of the guard with these young players in the league. So seeing an Anthony Edwards versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be wild.
Yeah. This series is going to be super fun. I'm so excited for it. It went 6 games last year between these two teams. Nuggets are going into the series limping. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is down with an injury. So that's a big piece of what they have. Their already bench is kind of pretty much thin. Of course, they don't have the piece in Jeff Green and Bruce Brown anymore. So it'd be nice to see how that will match up. Timberwolves got laughed at, and I was part of that laughing at last year about this team build up where they acquired Rudy Gobert and they had Karl-Anthony Towns. And you just like, how is this going to work with 2 big men? But they really converted to the old style, rebounding, crashing the glass. They're the number 1 defensive team in the league. So they lead that with a superstar that's coming into his own, Anthony Edwards. Karl-Anthony Towns has been the complement 2-piece who's been the face of that franchise before Anthony Edwards started to ascend to that level. Mike Conley, who just won NBA Teammate of the Year, congrats to him. Got a veteran presence. They just built very well. Chris Finch has done a fantastic job, came in 3rd for Coach of the Year, NBA Coach of the Year voting behind Mark Daigneault and Jamal Mosley. So kudos to what he has done to this team.
He took a tough knee injury the other night too, man.
Yeah, he did. So on the flip side, Nuggets very consistent what they do with their core players. As you see, Nikola Jokic just came out. Jamal Murray buried the Lakers with that go-ahead shot to eliminate Lakers from postseason play.
Darn it!
Trust me, I'm not disappointed.
Darn it!
But just poetic of the Nuggets that have got here, and at one point, the West was shuffling between 3 or 4 teams for a number 1 seed, and it is cool to see this matchup here. You was hoping that it would be the Western Conference Finals because the West has just been so competitive going down the stretch here. I can't even call this series yet, man. Like I think it's definitely gonna go 7, but it's a fun series that I think everybody's gonna lock into.
The Nuggets are the new old team, if that makes any sense. They're like the new old vet team out of all the West. Now with the kind of the changing of the guard, it used to be Golden State and LA, but now it's the Nuggets have taken that spot that Golden State and the Lakers have always filled. So now you've got a new team in the Nuggets that were right below them, right below Golden State and the Lakers, you had the Nuggets. Now the Nuggets have ascended above them, and now you got taking their spot. You got teams like Golden State and OKC and the other teams like that. But not Golden State. Fuck Golden State. Minnesota and OKC and the other young teams that are now coming up. But dadgum, Anthony, I'm sorry. The kid reminds me of a certain guy, and everybody has made the comparison. He's the closest thing to that dude that we got right now. Like, if you want to compare a guy to Michael Jordan, there's a guy you compare to Michael Jordan. He ain't hit there yet, but their similarities are just insane. It's nuts, and I like watching that kid play, even though he played at Georgia.
Hey, even
for a
Mike
year.
Conley came out. Even Mike Conley came out and said he plays like Michael Jordan. So it's just
He's the
not
closest
just the
thing.
players. It's players saying this too, man.
He's the closest. He's the closest thing we've seen to him. Physical stature, the way he plays, the way he just moves.
The way he goes to the basket, like he goes to the
Same way.
basket. Oof,
Intent.
goodness.
He has intent. Like he has that Mike intent that I'm good. I got this. It's just the similarities are insane. As somebody that got to watch Mike throughout his career, just the similarities are it's nuts. He reminds me of early Mike. But he reminds me of early Mike with a better jump shot. Because he can shoot from farther out than Mike could. Mike didn't come into a 3-pointer until later on in his career.
All right,
but Jesus criminy, that kid is good.
This though, coming off the Denver Lakers series, Denver can't play that way versus Minnesota.
No.
I think the Lakers led like 70% of the time in those 5 games. Like the Lakers had leads all the way up until the fourth quarter. And if they're gonna play like that and they're gonna get behind early, I think Minnesota's a team where you can't afford to fall behind early. So I mean they're gonna be in for a wake up call. It's a physical team. It's a big team with Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns and Naz Reid coming off the bench, Anthony Edwards attacking the rim. I mean it's gonna be a challenge, I think, for that Nuggets team compared to what it was last year, because now there's some seasoning on that team and
confidence.
Yeah, like they're coming through. They just literally wiped the floor with the quote unquote most unstoppable threesome in the league when the season started, as they were calling themselves. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun in the West.
Gotcha. Can y'all call it now? Y'all want to hold off? Because
I'll wait a little bit.
I'll wait a little bit too. I don't know what to call this series, but this is gonna be a damn good series.
It'll be a physical one for sure.
All right. So of course we come to the 2 losers. Who is the most disappointing teams out? The Suns and the Lakers. And Kev, you start off.
Suns. Suns had more expectations. Like they had the most expectations going out and getting Bradley Beal was supposed to be a key thing, even though Bradley Beal just couldn't even be healthy for 4 games. Like it was them. It was definitely the Suns. Like I didn't expect the Lakers to do it. Like nah, it was definitely a lot of people picked the Suns to win. Like not a lot of people were picking the Lakers to win.
Facts. Mr. Mack, your thought on that question between the Suns and the Lakers? Who's the more disappointing team?
I mean, the Lakers did it to themselves. I mean, they kind of had their own destiny. They could have lost to New Orleans and maybe went the OKC route. They chose to win and try to face their demons against the Nuggets, and now they're 1 out of 13. So that sucks. But I mean, we mentioned this last week on the show. I mean, with the payroll and the contracts and all the things that the Suns have, they're got to be one of the most disappointing teams in recent memory, probably. And the sad part is with those contracts and their cap space and what they have, they're in for a tough summer. So getting swept out of the postseason is one thing, but trying to figure out what they're going to do to get better is going to be tough. I mean, I imagine KD's probably gone. He's doing KD things. He goes somewhere, builds a super team, doesn't work out. He's going to go find somewhere else to go. That's kind of the KD MO. But you see the post game pressers, and no one. That's just a disappointed group, man. Those guys are. They came out the gates with such high expectations, and they didn't make it into the play-in, so there was a win there, but they walked into a straight buzzsaw getting the Minnesota Timberwolves. And it's going to be a fun off season because I want to see what happens with a team like that, because their contracts and their cap space, and they don't even have first round draft picks for the next 4 or 5 years. Like, their team is in a bad spot, so they're going to have to either blow it up or, who knows. I doubt they'll run it back. Like, there's no way they bring this team back as it is. Just having signed Grayson Allen and all these things that they've done. Here I was thinking that the solar eclipse was a few weeks ago, but it just happened the other day.
Well, the Suns, one of their pick swaps that involves Washington Magic goes to one of their picks, so they really don't have a draft pick. So that 26th pick would be interesting. Depends what they do here. The Suns, it's quite disappointing. There's a lot of noise coming out there now. It's what happened when you let an owner who really is not keen into basketball kind of own a team and kind of got involved with player relations and who to pick and trade for Bradley Beal with the contract that he has, and really no big man depth. There's rumors about Frank Vogel being fired to 1 year. There's rumors that Frank Vogel wanted a point guard that they didn't acquire. There's a lot of noise in Phoenix. And Devin Booker's been rumored. He's interested in the Knicks. There's a lot of noise coming out of that. So let's just say it's just a lot of noise in Phoenix. Lakers, on the other hand.
Oh, they're gonna draft Bronny.
Right. Have you heard that story? And that came from the Athletic. Shams came in that story. I'm like, talk about holy nepotism, right? Really? Just to try to save face? It's crazy that Lakers would even consider that the type of story franchise they consider themselves to be, that to keep a star player around that's, it's going to be 40 here in December. He still is playing well for that. I don't want to knock that, but you want to draft his son to try to keep LeBron around? Both of these teams got a lot of noise. Anthony Davis went down with an injury. He was healthy for most of the season, and then usual AD come up with an injury there. So, but it really didn't matter. They weren't going to be the Nuggets, as much as we like to say. And Paul mentioned that stat. They led for most of these games, and Nuggets found a way to really take advantage of that. But a lot of noise coming out of these two ball clubs. Both of these teams are in the media limelight, so they're going to be forced to make moves. Be interested to see what they do with that. I guess Matt Isha came out and saying that he wants to keep Devin Booker a long time. I mean, who wouldn't? But at the end of the day, these are stars. You put a team together, and they try and do their best to win. And if you're not going to do that, it's going to be messy. So, it's brutal around these two teams, and a lot of noise.
You gotta feel for Frank Vogel. Like, that guy is just the scapegoat, man. That guy can't catch a break. He gets a job. He gets these teams, and homie's the first one out every time. Every time. God damn.
Frank just needs to stop taking super teams. Like, Frank, do you want to coach all these guys? No. I'm good. Hey, Frank, do you want to coach all these young people? No, I'm good. Frank needs to find him a mediocre, middle of the road job and just stick at it and then retire.
The Wizards?
Yeah, there you go. Because they don't care there. So there you go.
Oh, man. What y'all thoughts about the 10 o'clock game that's coming on between the Clippers and the Mavericks? A lot of noise about Kawhi's not healthy 100%. He's come back to play in these series. Luka Doncic is shooting 30% from the field in this series. And
He's not.
Kyrie Irving's
He's not
killing
even
it.
healthy. He's not even healthy. Luka said his leg was killing him. Like he said, he's still going to go out there and try, but he's hobbling around on one leg. Kyrie's playing ball. Harden's trying to go all back to skinny James Harden, and like like this has been an entertaining series as well. Like me and Cortez watched the game on my phone the other day.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a fun series to tune into, and Kyrie took off, and he looks to be the closer, and that's that's something that should be the move there. Kyrie is a fantastic closer and get the ball in his hands, but this is a series. Paul, what's your thought about this series and what it was potentially? Game 5, 8% of the time that want to go on and win the series. So what's your thought about this game coming up at 10?
What's interesting to me is right now as they're assembled, obviously I know he's been hurt most of the year, whatever they manage, but are the Clippers better without Kawhi right now? Like, because I know he's kind of been hobbled. He kind of slows them down a little bit. They can play a little bit faster, a little more pace. So they came out and they won the other day. I mean, it took a vintage PG-13 game for that to happen. I mean, they turned the clocks back on that one. But is that sustainable? Like, can he come out and do that? I know he's a guy that there's a lot of talk about where's he going to go next year. What's his, I know there's some teams that are in the news. I know they're saying Philly might be a contender to get a Paul George. Orlando might be able to get a Paul George. They got cap space. So, is he just there for the ride to maybe secure himself a contract in the off season? It's interesting because, like we've said before, like, Dallas has gotten really good since the trade deadline. They got a lot of defense. They're one of the top, defensive rated teams since the trade deadline. They got a lot of size now. Yeah, man, the winner of this series, I think, could really cause some problems. And that's going to be the thing. It's just a matter of how long is this series going to go and how beat up are these two teams going to be going into a series with OKC.
Your thoughts about who OK should want, Paul, against these two? Who you think they should want to play?
I think OKC they probably would want the Clippers. I don't know if they'd want Dallas. Dallas is just big, physical. Luka's a nightmare. Even not healthy, Kyrie's a nightmare. Those are just two guys that can draw a lot of fouls. Get your stars in some trouble. So I just think that the tougher matchup for them is Dallas. So I think if I'm OKC, I'd probably want the team who's a little bit older, a little bit slower, in the Clippers.
Okay, your thoughts on that, Kev?
Yeah, same. You play the old people. That's what you always want to do, is play the old people, especially when you're a running young team like OKC is. Yeah, play the old folks.
Gotcha. Speaking of old folks, let's talk about the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks. They're running.
I thought you were about to say. I thought you were about to say, speaking of old folks, Kevin, you want to take this? I was going to say, fuck you.
No, it was not a joke. I was going to ask about the Bucks. They're dealing with injuries, and I want you to get input about there because Damian Lillard's down. Bobby Portis got kicked out of the game for fighting somebody. Then you got Giannis, who, me and Paul was on the preview, and I say Giannis got to come out for them to have a chance. He's not even coming back, and is it even worth it? The window on Milwaukee Bucks doing anything has closed. Like, even with Dame and everything, their championship window was that 1 year, 2 years, and their door has been slammed shut because everybody around them got better. So Milwaukee, even getting Dame and everything,
is the moment they hired Doc Rivers. That door, they changed the locks on that door.
No, when they hired Doc Rivers, their any chances of winning them a championship anytime soon got put behind one of those safes that they stole in the back, Fast and the Furious, that you can't even crack open. that was one of those safes because they're never going to see a championship with Doc Rivers ever coaching that team. Any team Doc Rivers coaches from now on is just going to go see the doctor. They're not even going to be able to go anywhere else. It's just Their window, door, house, everything has closed completely shut. Like the air has been sucked out of their championship chances now. There's no coming back for the Bucks.
Gotcha. Pacers close it tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
they better because they're screwing around, and they got mollywopped last night by a Bucks team that is missing everybody, and it kind of makes you wonder if Bobby Portis didn't get kicked out of that game within the first 5 minutes, how that game could have gone. Because even late in that game, the Bucks kept it kind of close for a little bit. It went into overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So and it took Chris Middleton hitting some crazy shots, but considering how banged up Milwaukee is, they're still kind of hanging around. And they say Dame's close to coming back. I don't see why you would rush Giannis back because you're really risking some long-term problems. But even if Dame can come back and you could get it to a game 7, I know Doc has a bad track record, but this is also a young Indiana team. I just think they need to win this next game. If they don't win this next game, it's going to be interesting for sure because the seasoned veterans on one side versus the young guys who've never been there before.
Mm-hmm.
We know how that tends to normally go.
Oh, if Indy win this game, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over. Indy win this game.
All Indy has to do is win. But if they want to screw around and get run out of the gym by 20 again, 30, whatever the hell the score was last night,
mm-hmm.
They got to figure it out. I know. They're the better team on paper right now with the roster that the Bucks have going for them. But if that series keeps stretching and the Bucks can get semi-healthy and even Dame is at 60-70%,
mm-hmm.
putting yourself in a position where you're going to have a lot more pressure than you probably wanted to when you could have cakewalked through this team if you just took care of business.
Yeah, Pacers are at home, so perfect opportunity for them to clinch and go from there. So Thursday game as well, you got the Knicks and the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey hit a miracle shot to force overtime, and the Knicks end up losing to the 76ers. So, Paul, I'll go with you. What's your thoughts about this series and golden opportunity to kind of close it at the Garden, and now it's going back to Philly. Your thoughts about this series here and what the Knicks needs to do to close it?
This series is as advertised. This is what we thought this series was going to be. It almost feels like 90s basketball sometimes. It's a physical series.
Is it though, or is it just a bunch of idiots flopping around?
I mean,
you calling that Joel Embiid?
I mean,
It's not physical at all. They make it think like it's physical by just falling down when somebody breathes on them. Get the frick out of here with physical. They don't know physical.
Well,
it's like a bunch of.
I personally think that Joel Embiid has made the quickest heel turn I've probably seen an NBA player make in quite some time. I mean, this guy just straight turned into a villain in the span of 12 hours.
Oh yeah, Knicks fans.
Have y'all not
like Joel Embiid?
Have y'all not been watching him his whole entire time in the league? He's done this shit since he's got in. Now it's just on national TV all the time, so everybody's like, "Oh, this guy's a bitch."
Yeah,
he's been doing it since he's in the league. Like, he ain't physical. He's the wussiest big man I have ever seen. He's even wussier than the skinny big men that we got in the league now. That bitch.
I just love.
He makes me root for the Knicks, which is fucking possible for me to do.
I just love the, like I said, the the game 2 nonsense to filing a grievance to shooting 20 something free throws in game 3, just getting away with some wild stuff, tugging on Mitchell Robinson's leg from the ground. Like, all that stuff is just a dirty play. And then it's just the fact that he just acts like a big dumb idiot when like someone comes at him, it's like, oh, what did I do? I don't know.
He's not acting. He's not acting at all. He is a big dumb idiot.
Did he step on Josh Hart knee too? Didn't I see that?
Yes, he stepped on somebody. My favorite one was the one where he was dribbling, gets the guy on his back, and then flails around and throws the ball up in the air like he's a damn ballerina. Your big ass fucking sucks.
He's very annoying, and this is not to discredit Tyrese Maxey, who's having a fantastic series.
No,
he looks great, but Joel Embiid is annoying.
I had that talk today with I work with a guy who's a Philly fan, and they need to they've been trusting the process for a long time, but they need to probably understand that Tyrese Maxey is probably going to be the future of that franchise, and they're going to have to do whatever they can to secure Tyrese Maxey, because without Tyrese Maxey, who knows where Philadelphia is? I mean, he held it down all season. He held it down while Joel Embiid was out all that time. He was the most important.
Like every other year.
So, he hit some big threes. We can get into the whole thing of do you foul in that situation? Should that three never have happened? Should Josh Hart have made his free throws? What was Jalen Brunson doing in overtime? He was a little out of control. So there's a lot of things there. I mean, the Knicks blew a 6-point lead with like 20 seconds left in the game. Like it was
that right there.
It was about as wild as that finish in game 2. So I mean, this series has just been crazy, and the Knicks going back to Philly. We saw how the crowd was the first 2 games in Philly. There was probably more Knicks fans than there were Philadelphia 76ers fans. So it was the Knicks fans travel. So I don't think the home court's going to be a huge advantage for Philly. I mean, even Joel Embiid seemed like he was upset that the Philly fans didn't show out. So I mean, it's crazy when you see an arena like that, and you're at home, and the away guys at the free throw line, they're chanting MVP. It's tough. It's tough. No. It's tough to see. So
now hold on.
The Knicks should close it out, but. I picked Knicks in 6, so here we go.
Now, hold on. Do the Knicks fans travel, or is it just because all of them fucking move from New York to wherever these other places are, and then they just show up to the games? It's not like they're traveling from New York to go to all the games. It's because they live there.
I mean, Philly ain't
far.
Philly ain't far. But like when you go to the Orlando game, and there's a bunch of Knicks fans there. They didn't travel. They all fucking live here now.
Yeah, but Philly's a sports town. Those Knicks fans are doing that shit.
Philly.
Oh yeah, they do it on purpose.
Kind of odd.
They do it on purpose. Philly fans don't give a shit about the 76ers anyway. They only want football season to come.
Yeah, which is odd. But apparently, I heard that the owner bought like 2,000 tickets to give away to Philly fans so they can fill up the seats for the Knicks fans. So I guess tactics. I guess. So
whatever.
The NBA team stop overcharging prices for that. It's
exactly
nuts. So all right. Cavaliers and Magic. That game went down to the wire last night. Franz had a chance to go ahead and tie the game with the layup, and Evan Mobley came back on a switch and blocked it. Good defense. This game was really back and forth the whole way. Kind of knew when Jarrett Allen kind of sit. They honestly the game plan was kind of put Jarrett Allen in a pick and roll. I can't really do that. He's slow foot, but Evan Mobley's a little bit more mobile. They go smaller and they still make some threes. Also, another adjustment, they set Georges Niang, aka Fat Ass. He didn't play last night.
Sit your fat ass down, Jordan Day. No one gives a shit about your fat ass. Shut your fat ass. Talk your shit.
He was public enemy number 1 down here in the Kia Center. He was pointing at a fan and on at games 3 and 4 trying to get a fan kicked out, and it was like, you paid to see me. No, we didn't. Well, apparently you didn't play in Game 5, so I guess we didn't pay to see you. But
You know, it was
Or as Squiddy,
was it in game 3 when like Franz
Game
went to the
4.
rim, game 4, well, whatever it was, when Franz went to the rim and Niang tried to take a charge, and then fucking Franz told me he was just too small. Just get up, buddy. What are you doing?
He did a spin move, put him in a spin cycle, and he pointed at him and got a technical foul. You got a technical foul pointing at somebody, really?
Yeah.
But
or
I ain't gonna lie.
or squinty-eyed Cortez said, "Talk your shit, yeah."
The
lot of Tito.
The Joe Ingles George Niang matchup is just my
Oh,
favorite.
Dude, it
That's
is
just YMCA.
fantastic.
That is YMCA Sunday morning basketball, and it's the best.
Hey, give you 20 with the quickness, man. I ain't down Jordan in the talent. I know he's an NBA player for a reason, but man, he's fat and he like kibble and kids.
I told somebody I said George Niang is the most regular looking NBA player I've ever seen. Like if I saw him somewhere, I just would think he's just a guy. I would not think he was a basketball player. Like that dude just like if he was buying milk, I would think he worked for UPS. That guy, it's wild to me. That's the most average looking athlete I've ever seen.
It's like Zach Randolph.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Shaq had me laugh when he did the video where he did like, "I'm the Wagner boy. Get your ass up off the floor.
Get your ass off the floor. Get your ass off the floor." And then he sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get your ass off the floor.
Yo, Shaq loves the Wagner boys.
He does, man. That was hilarious. He did that in that voice. But what y'all thoughts about them going to Game 6 on Friday? This is a must-win for Orlando. They've been done at home. Like they got a 30-point differential at home. Their role players tend to step up, but Jesus Christ, man, can Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, and Gary Harris make a three? They're all shooting under 25% from the 3-point line.
That's
all
why they signed Gary Harris.
Yeah, he's sucking. And then Cole's my guy, but Cole has been non-existent either. And I can't defend him. Markelle Fultz, he's been playing well, but he's not going to shoot the ball. He's been making the mid-range and stuff like that, so he's not going to shoot the 3-point ball. And then Gary Harris, for some odd reason, he's just out there for vibes, running around, getting cardio, putting out Tony Snell's, number lines, while Paulo and Franz is over here, 21, 22-year-old young studs just trying to carry the franchise. In their playoff appearance, they haven't been in 5 years. It's just like somebody help these guys.
That one of these games, Franz and Paulo are both gonna pop off. Like that's the thing is it's just been one or the other, and they're in this series. So I would think going back to Orlando with that crowd, the way that crowd was those games 3 and 4, that's a different team at home. And like they're playing great defense, man. They like those first 2 games they couldn't hit a shot.
No.
And they couldn't make a goddamn free throw.
They missed 7 last night.
The 2 things you said that they're atrocious at, they are absolutely atrocious at. They draw a lot of fouls and just cannot make free throws. The Cavs seem to be a first half team. So the Magic are young enough that I think that, in a battle of nutrition, they can withstand the early blows like we saw in game 4 where they were down 9 at halftime and then went on a crazy third quarter run and were up fucking almost 30 points at the end of the third quarter.
They scored 10 points in that third quarter.
I mean, it's they have their identity. They're gonna play defense, man. Like in a game like last night, like they're a shot away from winning that game. They're a couple free throws away from winning that game. They just can't shoot themselves in the foot. We both said we saw it going 7 during our preview show. Yeah, I think we get there, and I think Coach Mose can make the adjustments that, like, I think if it goes back to Cleveland for game 7, I think the Magic should be able to pull it out, especially if Jared Allen's not 100%.
Yeah, he's dealing with I think his back spasm, something with back pain. I know he's got like a strained back, something with his back, but I know it's a rib, something with his rib. So, but he's not 100%. So, Kev, your thoughts on this series?
Ribs, back, whatever. He ain't 100%. But no, it's pretty much it's like this is the odd series, like because you've got nobody has won away from their home, so it's been okay. You get the blowout here, then you get the close game, then you get another blowout, then you get a 10-point third quarter, then you get the Magic playing songs, then you get another Magic playing songs, then you go back to Cleveland and you can't shoot your free throws, it's just it shows you the inconsistencies that both team has and why this is such a close series because both teams are almost they kind of got mirror images of each other. It's just with Mitchell on the Cavs, Mitchell is that determining factor that they have the one guy that's going to make those consistent long range shots and everything like that, where the Magic have the hit or miss guys that are going to make those long range shots. But the Magic muck it up, play defense, stay in the game, and try to win it there. I think they win at home. Going back to Cleveland, though, there's not something that's went to me, okay, Magic are going to win in Cleveland because something always happens when they got there. If they would have got that game yesterday, then I'd have had no doubt. Yeah, I'd have had no doubt they going into going back to Orlando that they would win this series easily.
Yeah,
but they're playing muck it up basketball right now is what they're doing. Both teams. This has been this one and the Knicks and 76ers were the ones that everybody thought were going to be the most even. The bad part is whoever wins whatever is going to get their fucking asses kicked by Boston. Boston is just on another level right now, but they also playing a team that doesn't have nobody.
Yeah. Well, what's your thoughts about? Because I know the Heat are pretty much they're done.
Y'all remember? You remember that REM song? Everybody hurts. Well, that's exactly is what's happening with the Heat because everybody hurts on that team. Like it was when they said Jimmy was going to be out, you kind of knew it was over. Game 2, yay, woo, we got a game, but whatever. They were never
23 mate.
Yeah, and that's going to happen once in a blue fucking moon for Miami. But once Jimmy went out, it was like, yeah, it's over. Because when Jimmy goes out, there ain't nobody left there except Bam, who's consistent enough to actually do anything. Everybody else that's on that team is just really inconsistent or just struggling or coming off an injury or something like that. It's just they're not built to handle that shit.
I will give Cortez some flowers though. He did say when this all started that Coach Spo will get you one.
Oh yeah,
Spo will get you one. Just because he's Spo.
He sure did. Golly,
he'll get you one. He'll get you one, but the rest of them you're gonna get your asses kicked.
So it would have been really interesting to see this team healthy against Boston because this series probably would have won the distance. They just Boston and Miami it just those two series it just seem to always be like a lone series between those two if both teams are healthy. So
yeah, but when you don't got people, it's hard to play with a G League team when you're going up against the number 1 seed.
Yeah, so Boston will advance and they wait for the winner of the Cavs and Magic. The reminder that Kristaps Porzingis is going to be out for that whole series. So both of these teams, Cavs and Magic, do have the size to kind of get Boston fits. Boston is definitely they're just good at home. They're good at home. They beat teams badly.
They're playing good anywhere. And since that little idiot guy has shaved all of his hair off, what's his name?
Derek White.
Freaking Yeah, ever since that little fucker shaved all of his hair off, he plays even better. Ah, fuck that dude.
Hey, Kevin, he was white hot.
Yeah, he's a fucking asshat. That's what he is.
He was the slogan, white hot.
Yeah, his head's white. For him to be a
Listen, I'm just waiting for the day that Jalen Suggs do the same. Go ball, bro.
oh god.
Go ball.
We're waiting for a lot of people to go bald that just won't admit that they ain't got no hair.
His hairline's running a
Gotcha.
fast break on him.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's transition to NFL draft. Let's talk. I kind of watched little bits of it. For some reason, they put the Magic game at the same time on NBA TV. That's how much they didn't care about the Magic. Put them on draft night with NBA TV on the worst. Yeah, nobody was watching.
I saw a meme that said they should have just put the Magic Cavs game on Snapchat.
Probably, yeah. Just listen, they should have. Nobody didn't care. Unless you're a big Magic Cavs fan, then yeah, nobody cares. Thoughts about the draft overall? We already knew who was going to be the number one pick. Caleb Williams, the fit. What y'all thought, Kevin? What's your thoughts about Caleb Williams and going to the Bears? And I know they traded Justin Fields, so
Caleb Williams couldn't be going into a better situation with how Chicago did everything leading up to the draft. He's got weapons. He's got a good O-line. And his defense in the last half of the year, because when you get a rookie quarterback, you want to have that good defense. And the last part of the year, the Bears defense was rated near the top of the league in giving up yards and stuff like that. They were right there. So if they can continue that going into the year with the weapons and stuff that they got Williams surrounded with, he is walking into a great situation right now.
Okay. Paul, your thoughts about Caleb Williams going number one? We already knew this for months, but
yeah, I mean,
it's official.
It's just a matter of what the Bears can do with another quarterback. So hopefully the situation's better for him. Hopefully he has stability. Hopefully they put pieces around him that are there for a while, and they're not changing offensive coordinators and head coaches and all those things. They're not a terrible team. They were in a lot of games last year, like Kevin said. They had a really good defense late in the year. Some weapons on the outside. They drafted a receiver with the 9th pick, so they're putting pieces around him.
They got Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Swift.
in a position where they're.
Oh, they did get the kid from Washington. Oh, he's talented. Yeah, Rome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Odunze?
The Rome Odunze. They got Swift in the offseason. They got Keenan Allen.
Yeah,
they're
loading up for him. They're doing what they didn't do for Justin Fields. That's for sure.
Yeah, they said, "Fuck Justin."
They didn't do that. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's still probably the 4th best quarterback in that division.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Bears.
Yeah,
you got
Goff.
Goff.
Jordan Love.
Yep, Jordan Love. Who's the Vikings quarterback?
Oh, they just got JJ McCarthy.
And so he's 3rd.
So he'll be the 3rd best quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sorry. Y'all running out JJ McCarthy out there. Oh, good Lord. I feel sorry for you, Minnesota. Luckily, you still got Jefferson to try to make him look good.
3 quarterbacks went top 3.
Fucking 6 and 12.
Jaden Daniels, his situation with the Commanders. You got Drake May. He's going to the Patriots.
Poor guys.
Surprise, and then the surprise of all surprises, the Atlanta Falcons taking Michael Penix Jr. at number 8.
And I said, "Fuck you, Kurt."
Why?
You just signed Kirk Cousins, and then you draft.
And then the Broncos
immediately.
The Broncos said, "Yeah, we're going to take Bo Nix."
Oh, don't remind me. I saw that. And I learned.
See
I just shook my head.
But,
I said, just growled. Our Broncos win 2 games next year. Checo be consuming a lot of Tito's with the Broncos.
What kills me about the Atlanta pick though is you didn't even draft a guy that you're going to be able to sit and let develop, because by the time Kirk Cousins' contract runs out, Michael Penix is going to be 97 years old. Because right now he's already 94. So I'm like, these old guys are getting drafted, and you can't sit them. Like, because by the time you sit them, they'll already be retired.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand that move. I guess they're going to use Penix in like certain situations, or is it going to be schemes?
I don't have a clue.
They're going to use him just like they use Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, they still don't know.
Paul, what do you talk about your team draft? The Giants, your overall?
I'm happy with it. I think we got us a number one wide receiver, guy that can come out. And he's literally our number one wide receiver right out of college, based off of our roster. So, big physical receiver. I'll take it. I mean, Daniel Jones is going to need all he could possibly get. It was definitely a need for us. Obviously there was other needs that we were able to, get later on in the draft, but definitely losing Saquon, you had to get a playmaker out of the 6th pick, and hopefully we got one.
Gotcha. Mr. Carter, I know you was vocal on Twitter. Your Jags. Elaborate, sir.
The first round pick, fine, okay, whatever. You can do that. My biggest thing is, why in the holy hell are you drafting 2 defensive linemen from LSU when their defense was ranked 102nd in the NCAA? Neither one of those guys proved jack poop that they were going to be any good in the pros. Like, any good in the pros. Like, and then you let corners just disappear to get them. Oh God, I'm getting a headache.
They got a Florida State guy just so you can go. Oh.
No, they got a Florida State guy just so I could go. Why did you wait till the end to draft a corner? Like, oh my! The only thing that was cool about the whole thing was them drafting the kid from Florida State and him really wanting to play for the Jaguars. Like, that was his team up. He really wanted to play there and all this stuff. And so it was cool for that reason. But their draft made absolutely no sense whatsoever. You needed another defensive end. You were like, oh, yeah, well, let's get one around 6. Yeah, like he's going to help it all. Like, oh, my God. And then we got $35 million under the cap. Right now we're leading the NFL in cap space. There's guys out there, and we're sitting on our ass not doing anything with it. It's just, I'm annoyed.
Okay.
I really wish when they dropped Tony Khan on his head during wrestling that it would have really knocked some sense into him. It didn't.
Well, I can tell
you, he wore a neck brace all weekend, just trying to sell a wrestling angle. He was more concerned about the wrestling angle than he was about the Jaguars draft. If that tells you anything.
So,
Hey, Cortez, what was worse? Your NFL draft or your new Broncos jerseys?
Wow. Sorry. That kind of came out. I thought Paul was looking at his phone playing the video. That was my thing playing. Sorry, guys. My draft, I was so underwhelmed when we draft Bo Nix. I like John Ellis pick, though, the edge from Utah. I think that's going to be a good pick. of course, that second round pick went to Seattle amidst the Russell Wilson trade, who is now in Pittsburgh Steelers.
The debacle. That was a debacle.
Yeah. So, besides that, I'm not really expecting. I guess of course, you see all these teams things come out, and I guess there was who said Phillip Rivers. It was comparing Bo Nix to Phillip Rivers.
They're about the same age.
Bo Nix just don't have 19 kids.
Yeah, but we'll see what Sean Payton do. I mean, I know the one claim to fame that he had the quarterback is Drew Brees, but the other quarterbacks that he had has been okay. But this is what he wanted. He wanted to start from scratch, and Courtland Sutton is going to stay around, so that's good. It's substitute Justin Simmons. I'm surprised no one pick him up yet. Dude, that's a good veteran piece that somebody can pick up. Dude can play. I'm surprised no one pick him up. I'm looking at Jaguars. Pick that guy up.
It would be smart. You know what else? You know what else Sean Payton is afraid of now? Those ugly ass jerseys that y'all unveiled.
Oh, and what a week! Get Bo Nix, and then we get these jerseys, and they look kind of like dots and few. I can't explain it, but I saw some tweets saying, "Oh, these may be the jerseys," and I'm like, "No way, those are it!" And ta-da! So when I rock a Bronco jersey, I'll be wearing the throwbacks. I won't be wearing those.
And y'all got Zach Wilson.
Please.
Oh yeah, we got Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, Bo Nix.
There's all kinds of Cougars and stuff out there in Colorado. He'd be all right.
So
yeah, but from what Cortez said, when you go out there, they ugly as hell. So
Paul, before we close this, I can vouch to you. The one game I went to in Denver, I was expecting to see, I'm doing Denver. It's gonna be some good looking women out here. I was not impressed.
He said they all look like the Broncos logo.
I did go to that instead, but their cheerleaders wasn't. I was like, oh, maybe they're cheerleaders. No, but apparently I told in Colorado Springs where all the baddies are at. Because
that's where all the out of town people are visiting.
But I was more so referring to the fact that there are actual cougars, aka mountain lions, in Colorado.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
He's going to cougar country.
Anything else you want to add about the drive? Are we good here before we wrap this up?
It was about what I expected. Like I said, there wasn't a ton of stuff coming out aside from all those quarterbacks and stuff like that. So we'll see, because you're gonna have quite a few of them starting right away, probably.
Yeah.
If you're in the NFC North, you might have four gimme games.
Mm-hmm.
Going up against rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah. Should be a good one. So, all right. Well, this will wrap it up for us, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned for us. We'll try to recap some of the NBA playoff games that's going on next week. We'll get more of a sense of what the second round will be going into this weekend. So a lot of determination of what the games will kind of result into. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. You can follow the podcast page at BLC Podcast. Mr. Mac, give me your at name.
Yeah, I'm on X at _Paul_Mac, and on Instagram, ThePaulMac520. Get it.
My boy eating a Snicker. Mr.
Beef jerky, baby.
Oh, my bad, bro. Protein, bro. Yeah.
You can find me at Kevin C 2415.
All right, you can find me.
Look at them guns. Look at them guns.
Oh, Paul. Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
Welcome to the gun show.
Yeah.
You can follow me at _CP on that. You can also go to our Facebook page, type in Balls Not Court Podcast there. Our YouTube channel right there in the panel below is at BLC Podcast. Our Instagram is at BLC Podcast. TikTok, I think, is going away in the States. You can still follow that at BLC Podcast. I post some videos on there. Last time we did a podcast, only got 6 views, so that lets you know the state of TikTok. It is going down the drain, even though the CEO is trying to fight.
TikTok.
Yep. So TikTok is probably going away. You can find us on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spreakers, Windows, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, or Kevin like to say,
wherever you listened to us before, just listen to us there again.
And remember,
Cool
Zach
beans.
Wilson is in Denver now. So if you don't like and subscribe to this podcast, Cortez going to have Zach Wilson come hit on your mom.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Because he won't hit on many passes this year. Zing. Oh, I'll stop.
Hey-oh.
All right, guys.